So happy to be here at EssenceFest. This is amazing. Welcome to BeautyCon. My name is Nyamka Roberts-Smith. I'm a licensed esthetician based in Los Angeles, but I'm from New York, and my parents are Jamaican born, so I am a little bit of everything. I'm really excited to teach you kind of like the do's and don'ts of like how to treat your beautiful melanin-rich skin, how to keep it beautiful, how to keep it youthful and healthy as you go on today and go on for the rest of your life. So let's get started. Okay, first things first, we're gonna start with the basics of a skincare routine. Honestly, at the bare minimum, when you're doing a skincare routine, you need three things. You need to cleanse your skin in the morning and night. You need a moisturizer at nighttime, and you do need to wear SPF in the morning. Now, I'm not going to spend my whole 20 minutes lecturing you about SPF, but I might spend like 7 minutes doing it. For people of color, especially black people with deeper toned skin, our skin has a natural SPF of about 13 to 18. So that means generally, day to day, we don't really have to be concerned with getting like sunburns and things like that. However, when we do change climates, oftentimes, like if you've ever gone on vacation, gotten a sunburn, you realize that some parts of the world, the sun is stronger than others, and SPF is going to be very important to wear, especially in those aspects. SPF is also very important to wear because the sun causes UV damage on the skin. So by causing UV damage, you're weakening your skin cells, you're drying out your skin, it makes it difficult for your skin cells to communicate with each other, and that makes your skin less healthy, and then you're more prone to hyperpigmentation. Another special consideration of deeper skin is that we have more active melanocytes. Fun fact, everyone has the same amount of melanocytes no matter the pigment of your skin. So the lightest of the light to the darkest of the dark, same amount of melanin cells. However, in deeper skin people, our skin cells are more active. That means when we get a cut, when we get a burn, when we get a bruise sometimes, we're more likely to hyperpigment, which is probably the most annoying possible thing that happens with deeper skin people in terms of hyperpigmentation. Any breakout is gonna leave hyperpigmentation. So the sun, because the UV ray damage causes more hyperpigmentation, our melanin is there to protect us. So when we come in contact with extra UV rays, the sun, your skin is going to try and protect you. So it's going to try and get darker to protect your skin cells from damage, which is why I'm going to recommend wearing SPF while you're trying to treat any type of hyperpigmentation. The next reason is just general skin damage. It's true that black doesn't crack, but it does like wither sometimes. And you want to kind of safeguard your melanin. You want to make sure it's regulated, you want to make sure it's healthy, because our melanin protects us, and SPF is a great way to protect melanin. I hope you noticed that I actually didn't say skin cancer. It has been found in newer studies now that SPF doesn't necessarily help people of color prevent skin cancer, but I'm still going to recommend that you wear it for the other reasons that I listed before. The type of skin cancer that people of color are more likely to get is a type of skin cancer that is not related to UV exposure. So I just want you guys to know that so that you can keep that in mind. So those areas that tend to get this type of skin cancer, it's called acral lentiginous melanoma, which is actually the same type of skin cancer that Bob Marley got. He got it on his toe, and he thought it was just an injury from soccer. So acral lentiginous melanoma, oh my God, I hate saying that word, tends to show up on like the palms of the hands, the bases of the feet, areas that are not exposed to UV light. In the groin area, those are the most common areas. So keep track of your moles. Make sure you know when new moles pop up. Make sure you're kind of watching them to see if they get itchy or the shape tends to get irregular or if they're growing or changing. That is a good sign that you need to go to the doctor and get that checked out. because for acrolentigious melanoma, unfortunately, Black people have a higher rate of death because it doesn't click to us that we might have skin cancer, that we should get it checked out. So I think that's very important, and no, it's not the end of my SPF rant. One more thing. If you hate SPF because it tends to leave a dark cast, look for SPFs that don't have titanium oxide in them. So that means titanium oxide or zinc oxide. That is what's going to give you that gray, purple, blue pastiness that's going to make you look like a gross sister. That's not what you want. Chemical SPFs are fine, they're healthy. There's a lot of fear mongering around chemical SPFs, but they're great and very important to use. Another consideration of really melanin-rich skin is that we tend to have less ceramides in the upper layers of the skin. What are ceramides? Ceramides help keep in skin's moisture. It's a lipid that helps our skin retain moisture. Therefore, this is why we tend to get ashy, because we have less hydration in our skin, which is why it's going to be very important to moisturize all the time. I don't need to tell you how to moisturize. You're at EssenceFest, you're at BeautyCon, everybody looks glowy and beautiful, but know that moisturization is incredibly important for us, and it's good to use a moisturizer on your face as well every single day. Another consideration with melanin-rich skin is that our skin can also be prone to inflammation and hyperpigmentation because of any injury, because our melanin is always trying to protect us. So I'm also going to recommend trading your scrubs and anything abrasive that you're using on your skin for gentle chemical exfoliants, which really just help dissolve the glue in between your skin cells and gently help your skin exfoliate. Chemical exfoliants like mandelic acid and lactic acid are phenomenal for skin of color, for both hyperpigmentation and for acne. So mandelic and lactic should be your two most favorite chemical exfoliants that ever existed. Mandelic is my number one. I absolutely love it. And there are a lot of brands that make very affordable mandelics. And the science is coming out more and more as they're testing more and more, finally, on people of color, that we need mandelic acid a lot more than other ethnic groups do. So look for mandelic acid. It's one of my favorite ingredients. Okay, we talked about SPF. We talked about moisture. The third, really it's the first step, but I decided to go backwards, is cleansing. If you guys know me, you know that my 60-second rule has gone viral many, many times over in the US, in Korea, on Twitter, on literally everywhere. And the 60-second rule is simply washing your face with your fingers for 60 seconds. What that does, it allows the warmth of your fingers to kind of cleanse your pores, to warm up the skin, kind of soften any congestion. You're going to be able to actually get into the skin in specific areas, like the areas around your forehead where we use, to swoop the baby hairs, the word is leaving me, edge control, and underneath the chin, next to the nose. These are areas where we tend to neglect when we're cleansing, especially if we're only cleansing for like 15, 20 seconds in out. It also gives you a moment to kind of take care of your skin and really honor the fact that you are taking care of yourself and cleansing yourself and making sure that your skin is healthy. SPF and makeup are actually much harder to remove than it seems. I've had tons of clients, and oftentimes when I'm doing extractions, I can see the makeup in their pores that they thought they got off but didn't really. Especially with foundations that are our skin color, it's gonna look like it's off, but it's not really. So make sure you're doing 2 cleanses if you're trying to remove makeup, 1 cleanse, 1 for 60 seconds, and with your fingers. Fingers is also important because we don't need scrub brushes. We don't need anything extra than our fingers. It's completely fine. The skin is delicate. We want to be very kind and caring to our skin. We don't want to increase any inflammation because that can cause hyperpigmentation. So that is also going to be extremely vital and important. Okay, let's say you have all the skin basics down, right? You cleanse for 60 seconds, you use a moisturizer at night, you use SPF in the morning, but you're still having issues with your skin. This is where a treatment step comes in. So the treatment step comes after cleansing, but before moisturizer, and before SPF, because SPF is always going to be the last step. If you are trying to treat your skin, maybe you're trying to treat acne or hyperpigmentation, you always want to start slow. Start once a week trying to treat that specific concern. It's more important that you're treating your skin concern versus your skin type, because a moisturizer is going to be helpful in all aspects. Every single skin type, from oily, normal, dry, needs a moisturizer. Actually, funny enough, the more you use a moisturizer, if your skin is oily, your skin will actually get less oily because your skin is nice and hydrated and balanced, and it's not going to overreact and feel like it needs to produce more oil. What's also very important is that when you're treating your skin, you're using ingredients that are a little bit multitasking and not using too many products. You don't want to start off with 5, 6 different products trying to treat all these steps. It's much easier to just start with one. Let's see how your skin feels. It often takes up to 6 weeks to really see significant changes in the skin. So it's very important to just be patient with your, can be very difficult, especially when we have a dark mark that we just want gone, when we have acne that's driving us nuts, not paying rent, all on your forehead. I understand, but try your best to just leave it alone and give your skincare time to take care of itself. Towards the end, I'm going to go over some ingredients for specific concerns that I think you should look out for that are really, really beneficial for melanated skin specifically. But let's see. What was I talking about? Moisturization, vitamin C, Okay. Now, if you have hyperpigmentation, these are the ingredients and products that you want to look out for. Mandelic acid, like I said earlier, it's an exfoliant. Lactic acid, it's also an exfoliant, but it's an exfoliant that brings in hydration. Retinol is another phenomenal ingredient for skin of color because it aids in cell turnover, so it can help both acne and hyperpigmentation. Generally, especially in my clinic when I treat my clients, I love doing treatments that will treat both acne and hyperpigmentation if you have it, because they always come together, right? And if you're trying to treat the hyperpigmentation before you treat the acne, you're just going to be running around in a hamster circle. So you have to do the acne first, but you can do the acne in a way that will help also treat the hyperpigmentation that's going to come with it. Another important note, on that note, do not pick your face. I know it's tempting. I know. I don't listen to my own advice sometimes, and I pick my skin all the time because I think, oh, I'm an esthetician. I can do this. I have all the tools. Don't do it. Do as I say, not as I do. Your skin needs time to heal. Your skin knows how to heal itself. Sometimes it just needs the better ingredients to really kind of like aid that process along. So retinol, mandelic acid, lactic acid are going to be very, very helpful for your skin. Tranexamic acid, kojic acid, licorice root are 3 other ingredients that usually are supplemental in the treatment of hyperpigmentation. And then there's also peptides and niacinamide. So I gave you a lot of ingredients, right? What I would recommend is to find products with multiple of these ingredients in them, especially when you're trying to treat hyperpigmentation. The way I think about hyperpigmentation is that it's almost like an octopus. It has lots of arms, and it has, if you've ever seen like a melanocyte, the cell that creates melanin, it's a dot with lots of different arms sticking out of it, right? Melanin is created through a lot of different pathways, and I'm not going to get into like the nitty-gritty science of it, but it's good to treat hyperpigmentation from other different pathways. That way, you're treating the source of it. You're treating the inflammation. You're treating the hyperpigmentation that's already in the skin, and you're treating the hyperpigmentation that might soon form. So always look for products that have these ingredients, like multiple of these ingredients, at least 3 of them, 4, 5, even better, but I prefer that to single ingredient products. Next, acne. Retinol, mandelic acid, salicylic acid, and benzoyl peroxide are my favorites for acne. There's a few different types of acne. There's no type of acne that people of color get any more or less than anyone else. You have cystic acne, which can be very deep and painful bumps underneath the skin. Often happens around your cycle, usually on the chin and jawline area. For that type of acne, mandelic acid and retinol are going to be your best bets. If you have pustular acne, like they're very red, they're very inflamed, you can see the pus, you can pop them, but you're not going to pop them. You could pop them, but you're not going to. Salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide are the best ingredients in that instance. Salicylic acid is going to be able to clean inside of the pore, and benzoyl peroxide is more or less an antibiotic for the skin. It kills the specific type of bacteria that causes acne. Another honorable mention is sulfur. Sulfur is an extremely gentle ingredient. It's in a lot of different clay masks for oily skin. And sulfur also does a really good job at treating acne, especially if you have sensitive skin. Because if you have sensitive skin, you'll know that if you treat it too aggressively, you're going to get more breakouts. It's going to be even more irritating. And you don't want to do that because you want to take care of your melanin, you want to make sure that it doesn't get inflamed, and you want to make sure that you're not causing more hyperpigmentation. Lastly, even though black doesn't crack, it might wither a little bit, sometimes we still have concerns about fine lines, wrinkles, maybe texture issues as well. My favorites is also going to be retinol. You see a pattern here. Retinol is a fantastic ingredient. Also peptides. Peptides are little amino acid chains. They help your skin communicate with itself better. They can help hydrate. They can help. They are the building blocks of protein, so they help build your skin. Also love hydrating with serums. Oftentimes, because our skin has less ceramide content, our skin can get dry, and it's called transepidermal water loss. Very fancy name for your skin getting dehydrated. It's just water leaving the skin. So you want to bring water back into the skin. Hydrating the skin really helps reduce inflammation. It also is going to help regulate hyperpigmentation. I can't say that hydrating the skin will treat hyperpigmentation, but it does help allow your skin cells to function better and allow your skin cells to communicate with each other better. You want to hydrate and moisturize. Two different things. Hydration is just water. Think of if you look at the word hydro, water. Hydration is water, toners, serums, anything wet, liquidy, toners, hydration, one section. Then you also have moisturizers. Moisturizers have a little bit of water in them. They also have emollients, ingredients that kind of soften the skin, ingredients that make your skin luxurious, what's the word I'm looking for, glowy, that make the skin softer. They help bind the skin cells together, and that's what prevents the ashy gray look that we can get when our skin is really dry. Emollients that I love are beta-glucan, ceramides. Niacinamide is an antioxidant that helps help the skin retain moisture. There's a lot of beautiful oils that we can use. Argan oil is one of my favorites. All those oils, water, moisture. Shea butter is another one. Cocoa butter. They're all going to help the skin retain moisture, which is super important. And lastly, I want to make sure that everyone is very nice and kind and gentle to their skin. Your skin loves you. It's part of the excretory system. It's part of your protectant. It's like the screen wrap so your body doesn't get infected. And understand that your skin can heal itself really well, and sometimes it just needs a little bit of help. So to recap, make sure you're wearing SPF. Make sure you're checking your moles. Make sure that in your skincare routine, you're cleansing, moisturizing, and using SPF every single day. And last but not least, I just want to mention that if you're doing professional treatments like getting laser hair removal or chemical peels or even tattoo removal, they're all safe for deeper skin, but you want to make sure that your practitioner is very knowledgeable in skin of color and that they're not just trying to sell you on something. So ask a lot of questions, ask for before and afters to prove that they actually know how to treat melanated skin, because it takes a little bit more knowledge in order to do so. And if a practitioner doesn't like that you're asking them a lot of questions, they're the wrong one for you, because anyone safe will absolutely love and welcome your questions. Okay, guys, I'm out of time. It was so nice to meet you all. My name is Nyamka Roberts-Smith. You can find me on all socials as LABeautyologist, Beautyologist. Thank you so much, BeautyCon.